It's 2022 and we're back. So had a couple of weeks of enjoying Christmas, New Year's. Didn't end up going to Summer Nats because I decided not to go because of the COVID cases going through the roof. That because we're going to Fiji straight after it, that I didn't want to contract COVID at Summer Nats and then test positive in Fiji and be stuck overseas for an amount of time that wasn't going to be our planned holiday. So we got over there just after the cyclone, enjoyed a nice week of drinking beers by the pool, and the volcano went off and there were some flights cancelled, but ours was one of the first ones getting back out, and we got home all as planned, and yeah, straight back into it now. So back into work, gonna start doing some more stuff to the car. Now that I'm working for myself, gonna have a bit more time management to make sure I can get things happening. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I did do a little bit of work to a couple of things during the break, just because when you find yourself at home and the weather's not the greatest to go to the beach or whatever, that yeah, got a couple of things done. So managed to strip the battery tray and the twin headlight nose cone that I got. So we'll go through a bit of footage of how that has turned out afterwards. And I also soaked some parts in some caustic soda for over a week. That would loosen up all the dirt and paint to make it a bit easier to clean things up. So yeah, got a few things going to start to order and pick up. So I'm not going to fix the twin headlight radiator support. I'm going to go get a new one, just because this one is a little bit bent at the bottom from a front end accident in its previous owner, that before we owned it. And yeah, so I'm just going to buy a new one that's just then going to be ready to paint and bolt on, and then put the radiator in, and yeah, keep working on some things. So got a nice new slimline black radiator overflow tank. I'll be able to bolt down next to it. Be better than the old plastic one that we had. And I'm going to continue working on cleaning up some of the things that I had in the caustic soda bath that just now need to be wire wheeled and then painted. Things like the battery tray just need to be finished off, and I'll start getting everything ready for a big paint session. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. So for today, we're going to work on this front nose cone. We're going to strip it back, see what the bog is hiding before it goes to Aaron for any necessary panel work, because if it turns out it's no good, I'm going to have to buy a new one. So won't film too much of this, but let's see what it looks like afterwards. So this is not quite finished being stripped, but I've got pretty far back to bare metal. Now, as you can see, there's, a couple of little dents on some corners. There's a couple of little subtle dents in the bottom section. I don't know if I can catch them in the reflections or not. There's a little dent up here as well. And the worst of it is over this side. Where clearly someone's had a little mishap and it's had a bit of a repair, and they repaired it to a certain extent and then used a lot of bog to sort of make up for some curves, and yeah. So I did the back of it, bit of soda blasting, bit of paint stripping. Turned out not too bad, not quite finished yet. I need to still get into some of the channels. So I'll give it another go another day. But for the most part, it's pretty stripped back. So one of the other things I was doing is like the bonnet hinges and the latch and everything, is I've put them in a tub of water with some caustic soda from Bunnings. And yeah, gonna let them soak for a week. Helps soften up all the paint, gets all the grime off, And yeah, I'll hit it with the high pressure cleaner, and then should be able to hit it with the wire wheel and see how good I can clean these up. So after a week in the caustic soda, things should be able to come off with a quick spray of the high pressure cleaner. So let's see how this goes. So here's how these hinges and bonnet latch have all turned out after the caustic soda bath after a week, and after the high pressure cleaner quickly blasted off the dirt and paint. They're yeah, come up really good. And then just quickly hitting it with the wire wheel and get it back to be that clean, which is going to be quite nice to apply some paint to once I've finished doing that. So yeah, so I'm going to finish cleaning these things up with the wire wheel on the drill, and then yeah, paint them up in the KBS black. And I might do another video where I might just get my spare control arms that I bought and sit them in a bath for a week, just to show you just how much you can do by letting the solution do what it does best. So I've also been chipping away at getting these bonnet latches restored. So as we saw before, I put them in the caustic soda bath, then pulled them out, gave them a high pressure clean. Since then, any corners I couldn't get to with the wire wheel, just used the soda blaster, and then gave it a quick spray with the rust blast from KBS. And yeah, I'll show you how they turned out. And I've got to do a little repair to them. Well, when I say me, I mean Ben. He's got to re-weld on some nuts onto the plate because they came off. So I'll get them welded on today, and then I will have them ready for painting. So let's just check them out to see how they turned out after all the cleaning process. So I've got two bonnet latches. One's going to be for the metal bonnet, and one's going to be for the full fiberglass bonnet. So they were a bit dirty, but as you can see now, yeah, the nuts are clean. These end bits, a little bit of water has caused a little rust in that one. Cleaned up the penis looking things. Yeah, so they yeah, all cleaned up, and I just need to get these re-welded onto there, and then this should be good for a coat of paint. So they're going to go black, the same as I'm going to paint the hinges black too, to go with the black engine bay. So yeah. So it's another Friday night, and what better way to spend it than have a couple of beers, listening to some music, have a couple of mates around, and just do some small tinkering on the car. So might connect up some more of the engine wiring, might polish the air filter, put a new filter on it, chuck the carby on, might have a tinker with a few other little things. But yeah, let's just have a nice Friday night enjoying this. So won't do too much filming, but there'll be a few little bits here and there. So on Friday night, tinkered away, didn't film all that much, but yeah, we got the ignition leads on because Ben brought them round, so cheers Ben for getting those from me from Rocket. And connect up a bit more wiring, had a few beers, caught up with Dane, and yeah, just had a easy Friday night in the garage having a few beers. So since then, today, decided that it was time to go get a new radiator support. So brand new item, just because the other one over here, well, I just couldn't be bothered really cleaning it up properly because it's so fiddly. It was also bent at the bottom from where it's had an accident, and this one is not. So when we put the spark plug leads on the other night, I noticed that this one here, it's just a little bit close to the exhaust for my liking, and I don't really want him to get too much heat on there and catch fire. So I went and got myself some of these spark plug boot heat shields just off eBay, and yeah, we're going to whack them on just to give it a little bit of extra protection for those leads. So yeah. Well, it's a Sunday morning and it's not raining, but not exactly the best weather, but it's my only chance to really have a go at painting some things. So I'll do a quick little video of my setup, and let's see if I can get 2 coats of paint on today without it raining, and then I can drag it inside the garage to let it dry. So let's see how this goes. Little paint mixing station set up, so some thinners, the paint, a water trap, a spray gun, mixer, and then we'll connect it up and let's go have a look what we're gonna try to paint today. So I've got my new radiator support I got from All Muscle Car Parts. I've given that a quick rough up with some Scotch-Brite, and then we've got the heater box cover, I suppose you call it. Here my bonnet latches that are all welded up, the hinges, throttle bracket, bonnet latch catcher, battery tray, the water pump pulley, and yeah, another hinge and another one of these. Alright, so the painting's done and it's now dried, so let's have a quick look at it. And you can definitely tell that I'm not a painter. I'm not very good at it, but the most important thing is it's got protection from rust and it'll match the rest of everything else I painted in the engine bay. So the hinges all painted up. I haven't been able to move them, so don't worry, I can actually move them still. I haven't painted them solid. This has turned out alright. On the back side it's turned a bit bubbly for some reason, but yeah, yet again, like I said, I'm not very good at painting stuff, but yeah, at least it is rust protected. And the plastic thing for the heater box turned out alright, so that turned out pretty good. You know, more latches, hinges. This fella I got a bit too heavy handed and it's got a couple of little runs in it. It's also that funny sort of texture, but yeah. Anyways, this turned out alright. And battery tray as well. So yeah. Been cleaning up the radiator. It's a real shame that I can't sort of go all out on the cleaning and just leave it in brass, because I reckon it'd actually be a nice little contrasting colours in the engine bay. Same as if I could actually get this back to bare copper. I reckon it'd actually look a bit different. But because I can't quite get it all perfectly clean and back to the original colour, it's going to go black soon. So that's where we're going to leave this episode. It's the first one back for 2022, and I'm getting stuck back into it, so hopefully bring you more episodes very soon as we get this car a bit further along and closer to paint. And yeah, so in the next one, let's get some of this stuff bolted in, get the radiator in, put some coolant in it, and get this car running and drivable in and out of the garage again. And then we can move on to taking the interior out and all the glass off it. So, till next time, give it some limiter!